The universe, with all its complexity and order, begins with a single point of discussion: its origin. The Big Bang theory has provided a compelling explanation for how the cosmos came into existence. According to this widely accepted scientific theory, the universe started from an infinitely dense and hot singularity, expanding outward to form the stars, galaxies, and planets we see today. But the question that often arises is this: does the Big Bang disprove the need for a creator? To many, it might seem like a scientific explanation removes the necessity of belief in a higher power. But when we delve deeper into the intricacies of this theory, we find that the very existence of the Big Bang demands a profound question. What caused it? The Big Bang describes the expansion of the universe, but it does not address what came before or what initiated it. Science, by its nature, deals with observable phenomena and measurable events. It tells us how things work, but often leaves us wondering about the why. Why did the singularity exist? Why did it expand at that precise moment? Why are the laws of physics so finely tuned to allow the universe to exist at all? These are questions that go beyond the scope of empirical observation and invite us to consider the possibility of an ultimate cause, a force or entity that exists beyond time and space, that initiated everything we know and experience. When we look at the fine-tuning of the universe, the argument becomes even more compelling. Consider the constants of physics: the gravitational constant, the strength of electromagnetic forces, the rate of expansion of the universe. If any one of these values were even slightly different, the universe as we know it could not exist. Stars would not form, planets would not emerge, and life would be impossible. The precision is staggering. Some argue that this fine-tuning is simply a result of chance, but the odds are astronomically low. It's like flipping a coin and having it land on its edge not once, but trillions of times in a row. Could this level of precision be a mere accident, or does it point to intentionality? The Quran invites reflection on this, saying, "Indeed, in the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the alternation of the night and the day, are signs for those of understanding." Chapter 3, verse 190. Moreover, it is significant that the Quran, revealed over 1400 years ago, makes a statement remarkably consistent with the Big Bang theory. Have those who disbelieved not considered that the heavens and the earth were a joined entity, and we separated them and made from water every living thing? Then will they not believe? Chapter 21, verse 30. If one argues that the Quran was written by a human, how could such precise knowledge about the universe's origins, aligning with modern scientific discoveries, be present in a 7th century text? This invites further reflection on its authenticity and source. The theory of evolution often enters this discussion as another perceived challenge to the idea of a creator. The process of natural selection, genetic mutations, and the gradual development of life from simple to complex forms is presented as an entirely naturalistic explanation for the diversity of life on Earth. And while evolution provides a framework for understanding biological change, it does not eliminate the question of origins. Evolution explains how life adapts and diversifies, but it does not explain how life began in the first place. What caused the first cell to come into existence? What gave it the ability to replicate, to process energy, to grow and change? Life is not merely a collection of molecules, it is an intricate system of information and purpose. The DNA molecule, which forms the blueprint for all living things, contains vast amounts of encoded information. This information is not random, it is specific, organized, and purposeful. The analogy often used is that of a library filled with books. Each book contains instructions for building and maintaining life. To suggest that this information arose by chance is akin to suggesting that an explosion in a printing press could produce a dictionary. Complexity and order of this magnitude require explanation. The Quran alludes to this when it says, And we have certainly created man, and we know what his soul whispers to him, and we are closer to him than his jugular vein, chapter 50, verse 16, emphasizing the precision and intentionality of creation. Another common argument from those who deny the need for a creator is that the universe is self-sustaining. They argue that the laws of physics and nature are sufficient to explain everything, but laws do not create, they describe. A law, by definition, is an observation of consistent phenomena. It has no power to bring something into existence. For example, the law of gravity describes how objects attract one another, but it does not create the objects themselves. Similarly, the laws of physics describe how the universe operates, but they do not explain why it exists in the first place. When we consider the origins of everything, the universe, life, consciousness, we find ourselves facing questions that science alone cannot answer. What is the source of the laws of nature? Why does something exist rather than nothing? These are questions that point to a cause beyond the natural, beyond the observable. They point to the necessity of an ultimate origin, a source of all being. Some might call this the first cause, the uncaused cause, or the prime mover. Regardless of the terminology, the concept remains the same. There must be something that exists independently, something that is eternal, something that initiated everything else. The Quran captures this beautifully. Say, He is Allah who is one, Allah the eternal refuge. He neither begets nor is born, nor is there to him any equivalent. Chapter 112, verse 1-4. The existence of such a cause is not contradicted by the Big Bang or evolution. Rather, it is supported by them. The more we learn about the universe, the more we see its complexity, its order, and its precision. These discoveries do not diminish the case for a creator. They enhance it. Science and belief in a higher power are not mutually exclusive. In fact, they complement each other. Science helps us understand the mechanisms of the universe, while belief in a creator addresses the ultimate questions of purpose and origin. To deny the possibility of a creator is to ignore the profound questions that science itself raises. It is to assume that everything, the universe, life, consciousness, is a product of blind chance without meaning or purpose. But when we look at the evidence, from the fine-tuning of the cosmos to the complexity of life, we see patterns, order, and intention. We see the fingerprints of something greater, something beyond our comprehension. Interestingly, the journey into faith often begins with a rejection of false gods and constructs. The phrase, "there is no God but God," starts with negation, a denial of all entities unworthy of worship, whether they are material idols or abstract ideologies. To embrace this truth, one must momentarily adopt the lens of disbelief in what is false, only to affirm what is ultimate. This principle resonates with the process of questioning and seeking, the path many atheists tread when they reject unfounded notions of divinity. The Quran encourages this process of inquiry, stating, "And do not pursue that of which you have no knowledge." Indeed, the hearing, the sight, and the heart, about all those one will be questioned. Chapter 17, verse 36. In the end, the debate over the Big Bang and evolution is not a debate about science versus belief. It is a debate about the limits of science and the need for answers that go beyond the material. It is a debate about whether we are willing to consider the possibility that the universe is not an accident, but a masterpiece. Not a random occurrence, but a deliberate creation. The choice to believe or disbelieve is ultimately a personal one, but the evidence invites us to think deeply, to ask questions, and to consider the possibility that there is more to existence than meets the eye.